2025 Kia Sportage X-Line is so good that I sold one to my very best friend.
And the owner of this dealership put his daughter in one.
That's right.
It's not me though, it's my sister.
There's two Charlottes. Now in today's video, we're giving you a full in-depth walkthrough of the 2025 Kia Sportage X-Line and everything that it has to offer. And Charlotte, I titled this video, Good Price, Great Vehicle, or Great
features.
Great features, there we go. And that's exactly what you get in the Sportage X-Line.
Absolutely.
There's a reason why we always draw so many buyers to it, and it's because even though it's one up from the base model, you get so many convenience and comfort functions in this beautiful package. And the price is?
The price is going to be $36,295. That's your MSRP, so not including fees and taxes, and we are based in Canada.
All right, should we get into it, Charlotte?
I think that we should, but before we do, I want to give a little bit of a shameless promo to let you guys know to subscribe to the Kia Hyundai channel. We do live videos every single day at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and don't worry, we usually have a couple going up on the weekend too. And we also have our podcast, so it's called Trunk Talk, and feel free to check that out wherever you can find your podcast. It's also linked down below, don't worry, because we would love it if you guys want to check out some more general automotive content that's not necessarily Kia or Hyundai specific.
And if there's a topic that we haven't spoke about yet and you want to know about it, let us know in the comments down below because we always want to talk about what you guys want to hear about. So should we get into it?
Now we can go.
Hopefully you want to hear about the Sportage. So we typically start off with the front end, and boy, is the 2025 the car to talk about, because in this model year, we've actually made some changes to the appearance, more specifically the X-Line and X-Line Limited trim levels. You may notice that the Kia badge has now been blacked out. So that is of course going to be exclusive to this trim level and the highest trim. Nice blacked out Kia emblem with a blacked out grille to match. So everything design-wise on this vehicle will have a nice dark look. Now, if you're opting for Snow White Pearl, which of course we have showcased here today, it definitely stands out. It's a huge contrast, but it also gives your vehicle a very sleek all black look if you opt for the Fusion Black paint, or any color in between. It just suits this vehicle very nicely. For your headlamps, you get full LEDs, and your daytime running light is what I like to call our boomerang style LED. So very bright, definitely gives the Sportage a look of its own, considering none of our other Kia vehicles in our lineup have a look like this. It's a pretty funky design. On the lower end of the grille, or on the lower portion of your front bumper, you'll notice we have some more black accents with a black skid plate for the X-Line trim level, and everything is just a little bit more amplified in terms of design. The whole appearance for the X-Line is going to be an off-road-esque style, and you'll see more of that as we go around. I think we'll talk powertrain next. So all trim levels of the gas Sportage, so non-hybrid, not plug-in hybrid, just gas, will feature the same 2.5 liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine. Now this engine will utilize both multi-point injection and gasoline direct injection to give you the best of both worlds. So you get the benefits of both fuel deliveries. This vehicle will also provide you with 187 horsepower and 178 pound-feet of torque, which are very healthy numbers. The best part is this vehicle is mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission, so no CVTs, no IVTs, no dual clutches, not even a standard. It's just a regular automatic smooth shifting. And if you do plan on towing with this vehicle, it has a towing capacity of 2,500 pounds when properly equipped. That's across the board for the gas Kia Sportage, so regardless of your trim, you'll get that great compatibility. In terms of fuel consumption, this vehicle is rated at about 9.5 liters per 100 kilometers, so that is going to be your city and highway average. However, you can certainly see it do a little bit better depending on how you drive. We'll talk about wheels next. I love these wheels. So these are 19-inch alloys. They're shared actually on this trim level and the very top trim level of the Kia Sportage.
Whoa!
So yeah, you're getting top of the line for fraction of the cost. Pretty nice. So beautiful blacked out look. They even blacked out the Kia emblem in the very center cap. If you come a little closer, you can see it. So it's just more of a dark gray, I should say, but it's very nice. The tire itself is a Michelin tire. So usually we use a Kumo tire, but on the specific X-Line and X-Line Limiteds, you get a Michelin. Pretty nice. Ventilated and larger disc brakes up at the front with solid disc brakes in the rear. And of course, this vehicle does have all-wheel drive. Now, all-wheel drive is not standard on the Sportage, but it is standard on the X-Line trim level. It has a front-wheel drive bias, though. Everything okay, Charlotte?
Yeah, I almost fell.
Okay, a little stability issue. It was the gimbal's fault, not Charlotte. So this vehicle has a front-wheel drive bias to the all-wheel drive system. And what that basically means is that if it's a regular day and you're driving on regular pavement, it's going to be front-wheel drive. That's good for fuel efficiency and puts less strain on the drivetrain. However, if you turn over to a gravel road, muddy road, snowy road, that kind of thing, the vehicle will redistribute more power to the back to give you that proper all-wheel drive. It does this all automatically, so you don't have to do anything, but if you want to make changes on the interior, there's actually a toggle that you can switch between snow mode, mud mode, and sand mode. Make sure I'm showing 3. There we go.
3 and 3.
So you can cycle between all 3 of those, each of which will redistribute the torque distribution to that specified setting, also change your braking and all of that just to make sure your vehicle is torqued correctly to handle that conditions. You also get drive mode select too, so if you appreciate a little bit more responsiveness to your gas pedal, you can put it in sport mode. It will hurt your fuel consumption a little bit, but it will give you that feeling of just a little bit more sensitivity, more response to your power, which I really do love. Surrounding your wheels, you have a little bit of a black arch with a reflector. And then as we work our way up, we do have an acoustic windshield, so it gives this vehicle a little bit of a quieter ride on the inside. Blacked out mirrors with our LED turn signal indicator. And on the actual mirrored portion, you'll notice that we do have blind spot detection. So that'll show up as a little caution icon on both the driver's side and passenger side mirror. Essentially, it illuminates when there's a car in your blind spot, but it also goes a step further. That way, if you are indicating a lane change and there's a car there, it will beep inside your cabin just to give you an extra warning that it may not be a safe time to do a lane change. And then if you still try to do a lane change and the car senses you are going to hit something, it can give corrective action to revert you into your originating lane, avoiding said collision. That's not the only active safety function on this car though, so I will revert your attention over to the windscreen. Right in the very center, there's a little camera right in the very, very middle that watches the lanes ahead of you. Now it does 2 different things. Number 1 is going to be the forward collision avoidance on this vehicle. It'll sense if the car ahead of you suddenly stopped and there's a risk of a collision, which also provides braking force to avoid that collision. That also works with pedestrians and cyclists, so city functions. It also will give you lane keeping and centering assist, so essentially it watches the lanes ahead of you. If you start to veer left or right, corrects you, or it can provide an audible warning depending on what functions you have on or off. Keyword though, you can turn these functions off, so if you don't like them, they're not permanent. Up at the top, raised roof rails. So this is an X-Line and X-Line Limited exclusive, gloss black up at the top with just your solid black plastic as the actual ladder portion. Your pillars will also be gloss black, and so will the belt line of the car. Your mirrors, yes, the mirror. Your door handles are body color, but you'll notice that we do have a comfort access button, so as long as the key is on you, you can press that to unlock the car, press it again to lock it when you're done driving. And because it's a push-to-start vehicle with remote start, you never really have to touch your key. You can leave it in your bag, get into it without touching the key, start your car without touching the key. It's a pretty nice experience. The only time you gotta touch your key is if you wanna remote start your car, which is a bonus. Coming along to the back, more gloss black accents. And then the back is a little bit dirty, so please forgive me. We'll do this a little bit quicker. So we have a lot of dark elements, Sportage emblem here, Kia emblem in the center, X-Line badge on the right-hand side. But you'll notice the housing of the taillights also have a lot of black elements, so you don't have to tint your taillights.
You don't need to smoke it out.
No, we've got a nice look that doesn't sacrifice safety. You can actually see when your brake lights are on, and you do have a high-mounted stop lamp as well. The spoiler that houses your stop lamp also covers your rear wiper, so you don't have to worry about picking ice or snow off your wiper. It's tucked away nice and neat. It's never going to be obstructed, and it's always there, unless you take it off. All right.
Which, that's on you.
That's on you, yeah. All right, so the car is a little wet, so I'm going to try to avoid that. In terms of cargo space, we have a lot in the Kia Sportage. It can comfortably take 5 passengers on a road trip, or 4 passengers plus a driver, and still carry all of your stuff. There's so much cargo room here. We can put the dimensions actually in the bio if you guys would like to see an actual number
So
form.
the full amount, I actually know it off the top of my head today because I looked at it. So when the cargo floor is lowered, spoiler alert, the cargo floor can lower, is you have 1,121 liters of usable space. So tons of room.
And by lowered, you don't mean what I just did, you like closing this.
No.
You mean you can take it out and have it sit, there we go, a little bit lower.
You can get about 2 inches more.
Check that out. I didn't actually lock this part into place, but it actually sits a little bit lower there. And I don't know if you guys caught it, but there is a compact spare tire underneath. So great peace of mind having an actual spare with you and not just a mobility kit. Comes complimentary with the vehicle or standard with the car. There is illumination back here too. So you can see we have just a regular bulb. Is it on?
Yep.
Yep. And then we also have a 12-volt inverter. On each side, you'll also have this lever here that knocks down the rear seats. So the respective seat, it's a 60-40 split. Super easy to knock the stuff down. If you just don't need passenger room, you need cargo room. Handle to close it up when you're done. And then there's a couple more things I want to touch on just on the back area here. Of course, you got a rear view camera, which Charlotte will show on the inside, but you also have rear parking sensors. So right at the back here, you'll notice there's just these circular sensors. There's about 4 of them on the rear end, and that will provide some beeping if you are reversing and you get close to an object. You will also get the visual guidance from the camera as well too. So if you go to steer your steering wheel, the lanes will move with you to show exactly where the back end of your car is going to line up. Very nice. That's about it for the exterior of this vehicle. I think I covered just about everything I wanted to talk about. If you guys have questions towards the end of our walkthrough when Charlotte's done the interior, we always dedicate a couple minutes to answering what you guys ask. Let's take a look inside.
That's perfect that you said that, because I was literally just going to say, because we've actually had some really great questions come through. I've been seeing them, so we will answer those towards the end. And also, take a minute, take a beat. I'll wait with you, don't worry, I'll wait. And like this video if you haven't already. And if you're not subscribed, please do so, because it's free to do so. So take advantage of free things, and it also really helps our channel grow. So I'm going to have Gabby give a good pan of the cabin. That way you guys can take a look at it and see everything that we have to offer, and also just some of the key details that I'll go into when it comes to the X-Line or X-Line Limited package. So I'll start off with the driver's side door and some of the tech features that we have here. Okay, it's a little bit dirty. It's okay. It's wipeable, guys. See? Wipeable. Easily wipeable. And I'll start actually up at the top. So for the X-Line is you actually have this nice wood grain paneling. I think it looks really great. I love that it stretches all the way across the dash. And we'll get a better look at that a little bit later on. Key-shaped door handles, which don't feel cheap. They have a nice solid feel to them, so you don't feel like you're gonna break it if you're getting in or out of your vehicle or out of your vehicle. And then some gloss black accents. We have electronically controlled mirrors. Our one driver's window is gonna be a one-touch and also obstacle detecting. So simply flick it up or press down on it, and it's going to raise or lower with just one touch. You don't need to press and hold. And then also, if you put a hand or something like that through it, it's going to sense that. That way no one is getting any pinched fingers if they are doing that. We have a bottle holder, and then also we have our regular in-house sound system available in this vehicle. Now for the X-Line, one of the features that this starts on, I just heard a motorcycle outside, is going to be the fact that we have a powered driver's seat. So I'm able to bring it forward, backwards. I can also adjust the height, my backrest, and I have 2-way lumbar support to really hold me in and tuck me in. Now the material of the seat itself, it's quite comfortable. It is a synthetic leather, and exclusive to the X-Line or X-Line Limited is going to be the quilted insert. So it makes it feel a little bit more, I want to say a little bit more luxe because it's quilted, but overall this is more of a rugged design package, especially with the wood grain trim. It really brings those exterior elements from the outside to the inside.
Could you say rugged yet
refined? On this side of things, you'll notice that we actually have vents that are the same shape of what we see for a headlamp unit, which I love design details like that. And then some more chrome and piano black down here for our brightness adjuster, our traction control, and electronic parking brake. All right, steering wheel. Starting on this trim again, leather wrapped and heated, which is an essential for Canadian winters, absolutely. And then we're gonna have a split between our media controls, so our virtual assistant, media modes, calling, and a favorites button. And then also our driving controls. So from here, you can control your cruise control, your lane keep, your lane follow, and then you're gonna use this to adjust this screen here. Now I'm gonna put the vehicle into accessory mode. So the key's in it, so it's not fully on. So if you see some warning lights, that's why. But now you can see the vehicle is on, just operating off of the electrical. So we have this 4.2-inch screen, and this is what you're able to cycle through. This is what changes on the vehicle. So from here, I can see which safety features are enabled, the driver's attention as well, and also how the vehicle responds to me as the driver, which you can go and change and reset as you see fit. You're also able to access your driver's assistant, so any of those exterior safety features that Gabby mentioned, they can be controlled through here. Also tire pressure, and then we have a digital style speedometer and tachometer, although you can't necessarily change them if that makes sense. This vehicle is also equipped with rear occupant alert, so those 3 seats in the back, it's going to let you know which of those seatbelts are going to be in use. So very cool. It'll also give you a little reminder on the dash if it senses that you've opened the rear vehicle and then say you've gotten into the driver's seat, come out, it's going to give you a little dash, say check back seat. That way you're not forgetting anything or anyone back there, although I'm sure they won't let you. All right, do you want to come around, Gabby? Sure.
Just gonna say bye to Chris. He says he's got to run, but
bye,
he was
Chris.
on. Thanks for watching, Chris, and everyone else that's watching. We appreciate you all. All right.
All right. Do you want to show the seat?
Sure.
So you do have a manual seat. So
Yeah,
set it and forget it.
Got backrest adjustment. There's no height adjustment on this seat, but you do get the backrest, of course. And then, of course, you have the bar in between. That'll bring your seat closer or further.
Perfect. All right, let's talk about infotainment. In this vehicle, we have an 8-inch screen. It's framed in piano black, which I think looks good, and I'm not mad at it because this is in a high-touch fingerprint area, so we are okay. I'm not too sure if you guys can tell, but there is some slight curvature here. And again, this is to help reduce glare, but also to give greater driver visibility. So glare from the sun, but visibility for the driver. And the nice thing though is the screen itself isn't curved, because I know some people don't like curved LCDs. It's going to be a flush in the inlay. It's the inlay itself that's curved. Now on the screen, the nice thing is that these buttons that provide haptic feedback, essentially, they do everything it is that they say. You have a real tune knob and volume knob. And for your CarPlay, which of course this does have, it is wireless. So wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, because we have this smaller screen size. The other thing that we can do completely wirelessly starting on this trim is the inclusion of a wireless phone charger, which is located right here. But I'm jumping the gun a little bit, so let's talk about what we have in between. More wood grain trim, again, looks really, really great. And then also our climate controls. The nice thing about this is it's what you see is what you get. It's not over complicating things or reinventing the wheel. Increase your fan, increase your temperature, or decrease your temperature, front and rear defrost, air conditioning, recirculated air, fan speed, fan direction. They're all also their own buttons, which is really nice too. So you don't have to fight it. Gabby's fighting a sneeze, speaking of fighting. Down below, if you do want to use CarPlay with a cord, you can use it with a USB, but you also have a 12 volt and a USB-C if you want to use that for charging. And again, your wireless phone charger. Real leather top gear shift, which I like. And then for comfort controls, heated seats in the front and your heated steering wheel button too. Gabby already talked about the drive and terrain modes, but here you can actually see the dial. So press to cycle between drive and terrain, and then you'll twist the dial itself to actually select the modes. So snow, mud, and sand. And then drive, normal, sport, and smart, and they even changed the theme on the cluster. Other than that, you're going to have a button here for your parking sensors on the rear, so if they're beeping, you can turn them off or on. Your rear view camera, which will come up as the vehicle is meant to reverse automatically, and you even have a top-down viewpoint if you do want to go and use that 2,500 pounds of towing capacity. This is a lot easier for lining things up. Downhill braking assist, your auto hold, and also your idle stop and go. Auto hold when you're driving the vehicle and you bring it to a full and complete stop. If this is enabled, you're actually able to take your foot off of the brake. It's going to hold you there until you put your foot back on the gas and go to drive. Idle stop and go, if you'd like to turn it off, you press down and make sure that you see the orange. And this is the feature where if you bring the vehicle to a stop, it will temporarily shut off your engine. And then as you go to drive and put your foot back onto the gas, it's going to kick back in. And the whole design of this is to help you with your fuel efficiency. Center console, decent amount of space here. Nothing too crazy. Key fob with integrated remote start, as we mentioned. And then cup holders, which are adjustable. So you can get something to really hold your drink in nice and tight. Up top, just a regular mirror, nothing too crazy going on. And we do have a darker headliner in this vehicle as well, which again, darkens the cabin, a little bit more rugged, a little bit more refined in that detail. Let's take a look at the second row. Okay, please forgive us. We have a little bit of plastic back here. Okay, so this is a really nice second row. And I say that because you have a great amount of shoulder room and you have a great amount of headroom. That's a lot of space for sure. My dad, who's 6'2", he can sit back here, no problem. Now, I also like the second row because I feel like we have a good mix of amenities. So when I say that, I like the fact that we have rear ventilation. We have a convenient storage pocket here. We have 2 leather pockets on the back of each seat. And we have the same quilted insert in both of the main seating components. As well, in the middle, if you're not using the middle seat, you can drop it down. It is adjustable with the cup holders and the armrest too, which again, I really like. Now, if these seats, if you're looking at them and you're like, wow, that's a true 90-degree angle, don't worry, they do recline. So there's your max amount of recline that you can get. I just kind of disappear back here. Yeah, I know. So you can adjust them to make it a little bit more comfortable. Another point I like to make out is here's your middle seat. This is actually the full width of the middle seat. Yeah, it is. Full width of the middle seat. This is so close to being the same size as the full-size seats for this bench. So really is wide, showing you how much space that you really do have back here. And we have a flatter hump style as well, so it's not like my knees are going to be to my chest. It still is reasonable for your shorter passengers, but even someone who's taller too. Very, very comfortable back seat. The Sportage, It's a great vehicle, and it's no wonder why people like it so much, you know?
All right, we're at 20 minutes. That was probably one of our quicker walkthroughs of the actual car. Let's answer some questions, Shar?
Absolutely.
Okay, we'll put this down and get the car in frame. Yeehaw. All right, you guys. Let's see what you have to say. First question I see is this car hybrid? I believe Ryan already answered it, but no, this one is not a hybrid, but the Sportage does come as a hybrid or plug-in hybrid as an option.
You got it. Pearl suggests that this is a metallic white. Is it? Yes, it is. It does have a nice little pearly sheen to it. I'm not too sure if it's something that we can really show.
Pearlescent, not metallic.
Pearlescent, thank you.
Yes.
That's what I meant. Snow white pearl.
We can show it because we got your phone.
Oh, yeah, let's do it. Here, I'll grab the camera. But it does have a nice little, I'm not too sure how well it'll pick up. But
it is dirty, so.
Yeah. There you go. You can see the nice little, the finish, all the flakes.
Ooh. It looks better in person.
And when it's clean and has natural lighting. Okay, jump scare, I'm turning the camera around.
I will say it's nice. I think just about all of our whites are pearlescent. I know Hyundai has some flat whites or solid whites. Pearlescent white is so nice, you guys.
But their flat whites they're free color too.
They're crispy, yeah. Yes.
we're on different wavelengths there.
I thought you were going to say that they're good. They are good, but they're crisp. I don't know if you guys remember Lincolns, I feel like Buicks too, Fords from 2010-ish, they had this white that actually turned really yellow and gross.
It like oxidized, basically, the clear coat. Didn't
so
keep
gross,
up.
so gross.
I wish we had the longer version here in Europe. Yeah, so the European model of the Sportage is actually different. It's a shorter wheelbase, and you lose basically the third window. When will the 2026 Sportage go on sale? I need my wireless CarPlay. Yes, so this is slated for a redesign coming soon. We haven't received anything official for timeline as of Canada, but I'd say probably fall is usually when we see new models.
Someone asked if my hair color is going to be permanent.
I don't know, guys.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, the dye was permanent. If I keep it is up for debate.
I think that's what they want to know.
Okay.
not if the dye was permanent.
Tomorrow it's going to be blonde.
Yeah. Do they come in chrome? Yes, so you can get more chrome on the exterior. It's just not going to be the X-Line or the X-Line Limited packages. Okay, we're just looking for questions right now.
Someone asked if we'll get regular videos back soon. So non-live streamed, yes. And you better believe that before we filmed this live stream, or before we did this live stream, we filmed a comparison. And the car that we compared it to is actually right over there. And no, the similarities aren't that they're both white.
No.
That's not the only one.
Yeah, there's more guys.
They're actually the same price.
It's been a little squirrely the past little bit with sickness, and then I was on vacation as well, but a couple of videos that we have going up this week is probably going to be this comparison. We have a podcast episode going up about tariffs.
Oh,
fun.
This is great because of what we were talking about yesterday. When is the next Bring Your Corgis to Work day?
That is a fantastic question, and I actually wanted to bring one of my dogs today because it was nice out, but I could not, unfortunately.
Gotta ask Pat.
I know.
Let us know in the comments if you want to see the dogs back to work, and then maybe we'll be able to have a corgi day.
Yeah, another dog day at work.
Anything you want to answer?
Just trying to see if I see any other questions that we haven't already answered.
Someone asked, I know it's a Kia channel, but is it possible to do a K4 versus Civic video? So unless we happen to get a Civic traded into our used car lot, the odds are not very likely. We have done K4 versus Corolla video a while ago, and there was supposed to be a Civic there, but
it was in the shop.
The Civic had to be taken out of the fleet, the comparison fleet, because
it had engine light on.
Yeah. So I don't know if that changes anything.
John says, I have the 24 Sportage X-Line, really like it, not much different than the 25 model. Yeah, you're right. It's a carryover model. I think the only difference is the black emblem.
That's all.
On the front and rear, but yeah.
And the wheels.
And the wheels.
Anything else, Char?
Any info on the Kia Ceros? We don't have that here in Canada, so unfortunately it's something that's out of our wheelhouse. All right, that's it. All right. With that being
Sorry,
said.
I closed my iPad already, so I was looking at your
You're like,
screen.
I'm done.
All right, you guys. Thank you again for watching. If you're on right now and you haven't liked this video, please consider it.
It's free.
It is free.
It's free.
We'd really appreciate it. And of course, we will be back again tomorrow for another 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time live stream.
We'll see you then. Smooches.
Yes. And also, shout out to our regulars. I see Mark, I see Paul, I see a bunch of you guys that are
DT.
always on. Ryan's always here.
Ryan's
Adele's
always here.
Yeah. We love you guys.
We love you.
DT UK.
Yeah. Smooches all of you.